Hello folks, welcome to Lexi IAS Academy. In this video, we will be discussing about a current affair topic presented to you by your faculty, Sushma KP. So what is the article that we are looking into? Why has the Ministry of Home Affairs reimposed restrictions in 3 northeastern states? In this video, we will be discussing about as to fact why is it in news? What is the relevance of it to your UPSC? That is your GS paper 3 internal security. We will also be looking into protected area regime. We will be seeing about your Foreigners Orders Act and we will be seeing about your free movement regime. And then we will end it with some prelims and mains questions. Why is it in news? Your Ministry of Home Affairs has released a notification stating that 3 Indian states of Manipur, Mizoram and Nagaland will be implemented of your protected area regime. Now, according to this protected area regime, any foreigner who wishes to enter into this protected area must have a protected area permit, without which he can't enter. Now we will see in the course of video as to why such a thing was done. What are the 3 states that I mentioned were having your protected area regime? Mizoram, Manipur, Nagaland. All these 3 states पे your protected area regime is implemented. Now we will see what is this protected area. The area between inner line of a state and the international boundary. The area between inner line of the state and international boundary is called a protected area. If any foreigner wishes to enter into this protected area, then he has to acquire a permit. Only then the person can get in. Why was this introduced? This was introduced just to keep a track of movement and restrict the access of foreigners in key areas. How was this brought in through? This concept of protected area regime, wherein you require a permit to enter into the protected area, which is the zone between the inner line and international boundary. Why? So that you can watch them and restrict their movements. This was brought in through your Foreigners Protected Area Order Act of your 1958, which in turn was brought in through your Foreigners Act of 1946. So under this protected area regime, if you have to enter into the protected area, you are supposed to give or furbish these 3 details. First, where are you entering from? Where are you entering from? That is, in which part are you entering into this protected area? So where are you entering from into this protected area? Second, where will be your residence? That is, where will you be staying? Third thing is, how long will you stay here? These 3 details have to be given. So, what was the condition? These 3 states, in the headline of the news article only you saw, it was reimposed. So, what was the condition? Let's just see the history. For states like Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur, Mizoram, then comes your Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Jammu and Kashmir, Rajasthan, parts of Sikkim, that is up until your 2010 tak, all these states, with the exception of Sikkim, I'll tell you in a minute why. For all of the states, completely this protected area regime was implemented, which means if you have to enter into the protected area, you need a permit. Except for Sikkim, I mentioned, is because, see, in the Foreigners Order of 1958, through that only they brought in this protected area regime. Just 1963 they had brought in another order, which was restricted area order. That is your, let's say, part of Sikkim and completely all of your Andaman and Nicobar was put under your restricted area. So, up until 2010, all of these states and part of Sikkim, for all of the states completely, Sikkim ke liye partly, because Sikkim is part restricted, part protected. So, all of these states had completely protected area regime. Post 2010, that is to be specific, 2011 onwards, they started easing these restrictions. So much so that year by year, 2011, they thought, okay, let's ease the restrictions for 1 or 2 years. So let's say initially they start with 1 year. For 1 year, I'm removing this concept of protected area regime, wherein you don't have to get in permits to enter in and all. So why did they do this? First of all, the security tensions reduced in these areas. Second thing is it was boosting tourism. So they started reducing at 1 year at a time, 2 year at a time. So they kept on doing the same strategy up until year 2022. 2022 they decided, acha, for next 5 years, let's give them the easing of restrictions. That is, let's remove the protected area permit or protected area regime concepts into the 3 areas. 2011 onwards where we kept speaking, no, those were for 3 states. Which are those? Manipur, Mizoram and Nagaland. So they kept on reducing and coming. 2022 they decided for 5 years, let's ease the restrictions. So that is, it was to be up until 31st December 2027 tak, they were not to have your protected area regime. But now in 2024 December, Ministry of Home Affairs has cancelled this effective immediately, and again on these states, protected area regime has been reimposed. Understood? Why is what we will see further down the course. Main reason is the military coup of your Myanmar, where Myanmar military overthrew the democratically elected government. So, a military coup happened, which led to what? Huge number of refugees coming into India. Now, India is not a signatory to your 1951 Refugee Convention, nor do we have any formal acts with regarding to refugee. What this led to was huge amount of people or refugees taking shelter or running towards India has created an issue in the most important 3 areas, that is your Manipur, Mizoram and Nagaland. Meaning, to give you an idea, 40,000 people, that is 40,000 refugees have taken shelter in Mizoram. 4,000 refugees have taken shelter in your Manipur. And that is leading to conflict within themselves. This is what happened in your Mizoram and Manipur. Look at this. Look, these are the states that we are talking about. Your Mizoram, Manipur, Nagaland, with whom we share the largest boundary of 1,600 odd kilometers with Myanmar. When a military coup happened, they started rushing to the places they can see, that is nothing but us, India. When these people are coming in here, A, it is increasing burden, B, it is also leading to mushrooming of villages and also leading to conflict with the tribals there. One major conflict that we have seen in your Manipur is the conflict of Meitei and Kuki-Jew. The issues have got escalated so much so that the Manipur Chief Minister, Mr. Biren Singh, has held that there is lack of peace and stability in the region is because of the foreign hands at play in Indian states. To protect the security of the state, it made it mandatory for us to implement or reimpose protected area permit or protected area regime. Now look at this, especially in your, this is your Manipur ka one district, this particular place, Churachandapur. In this place, post your military coup 2021 Myanmar, refugees have started coming in. There is a significant mushrooming of villages, meaning what huge number of villages have come in, wherein they are growing poppies there, and then they are having local escalation, conflicts, fight. So this has escalated the security issues in Indian states. How can we obtain this protected area permit? That is through either your Ministry of Home Affairs or any other body that it designates. District magistrates, resident commissioners, home commissioner, or your foreigner regional registration office or your FRRO. India has had one provision where citizens from Pakistan, Afghanistan, and China, if they are to enter India into any of these states, they need prior permission of Ministry of Home Affairs. And within entry, that is within 24 hours of entry into the states, they have to register themselves in FRRO. Initially, Myanmar didn't have to do this if they just had e-visa. Myanmar didn't have to do this. But post this coup, post this conflict, your Ministry of Home Affairs has made it mandatory that even for citizens coming from Myanmar into India within 24 hours, they have to register themselves in FRRO. Now, if you look at the relations between India and Myanmar, 2018 onwards, India created on its path of Act East Asia policy, it created a free movement regime with Myanmar, keeping in mind that 16 kilometers from the state to the international border on both sides, you can travel without visas. That is, this is to bolster connectivity, also to increase people to people connectivity. Look at this. Now with this upcoming escalation of tensions, free movement regime also is set to be cancelled. Let's look at some prelims question. This is your 2008 prelims question. Department of Border Management is a department under which one of the following union ministry? Ministry of Defense, Ministry of Home Affairs, Ministry of Shipping, Road Transport and Highways, Ministry of Environment and Forest. The answer is Ministry of Home Affairs. Answer is B. Next, let's look at a mains question. This was a 2016 mains question. Border management is a complex task due to difficult terrain and hostile relations with some countries. Elucidate the challenges and strategies for effective border management. Whenever you give answer to these questions, make sure you mention examples like, for example, India, Myanmar. What are the relationships we are trying to have? For example, Act East Asia policy. For that, what we have done, free movement regime. So these kind of things added in your answer to make it a holistic answer. So you have come to the end of the content. If you like our content, subscribe to our channel, hit the like button and share it along with your friends. Thank you.